Hey everybody, how's it going? I've come for a little bit of a night ride because I have some new lights, thank you to Magic Shine UK. But I thought the best way to test them out wasn't to go out on the road, which is what I've actually got them for, was to come out in the dark. That is setting 1, 2, 3, and then there we go. Full 8,000 lumens. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm going to try and find the darkest, grottiest little trail just to see what they're like basically. I've been using the daytime running lights on my road bike, on my mountain bike, just to keep me safe. You've all heard me say that I don't like being around traffic too much. Well, I don't think there's much like a good set of lights to keep you safe, keep you seen. I don't know the product names of the lights that I've been using, but I'll do some close-ups of those. This could be one of my worst ideas ever. I'm not a massive fan of graveyards, I'm sure no one is, but there's a great set of steps at the back of this one. This is certainly going to test just how bright the lights are and their ability to light up a trail. They're amazing on the road. I have used them a little bit whilst I've been commuting and things like that. Right. This is horrible. Horrible as in, have you ever been in the graveyard in the night? I haven't. Right, this is where we go now. Down here. It's bad enough in the daytime. Oh, there's. It sends chills down my spine, that graveyard. These lights, I'd normally mount them on my helmet, but that's where the camera is. But they're amazing. I actually thought there'd be too much vibration for them to work and they'd slip. But that is really impressive on a GoPro mount. Nice. Probably not a lot slower than in the daytime, surely helped by a little bit of graveyard fear. On my e-bike tonight, whoop, that is slippery. Whoa, 200mm brakes, covered in mud on the tyres then. 4-pot pistons, four pistons, 4-pot calipers, and then squeezing them just a little bit too hard on the slippery road. That was a little bit scary. Feeling the front wash away there. Wow, I'm quite impressed with that. They didn't seem to slip too much on the out front mount. Like I said, normally I choose to have it on my helmet, so then wherever you turn you can see. That's my favourite place to light a mount, or mount a light rather. I have a little one here. This is 1500 lumens. Let's see what that's like next to the 8000. Right, 1, 2, 3. There we go. So if I turn over there, so the lights that I previously used were some Halfords cheap lights that I bought on a Black Friday deal one year. They were 1600 lumens each. They were a good spotlight for the price. Can't go wrong. I got them for about 50% and they were 30 something pounds a few years ago. One of them has since died. But these lights are another level. Obviously I've never actually had night lights like it, but I am quite enjoying using them. Yeah, I'll show you some close-ups. At some point Mike and I are going to go out on a bit of a night ride. Be like a date night, since it's as close to a date as anyone can get at the moment, isn't it? But there we go. Here's a nice quick first look. Again, thank you Magic Shine UK for the use of them. I'm going to go off, whip around the woods. Quite a bit of battery left, might as well make the most of it. Hopefully if anything exciting happens in the woods, I'll be able to document that as well. Right, I'm going to press on, get into Idless, and I'll see you in a moment. Definitely less nightlife in the car park than you might normally see in the woods at night, thanks to the whole lockdown and things like that. Don't need to guess what I'm talking about there. It's quite weird coming to the woods at night. It's not the sort of thing I normally do. I used to love commuting in the dark. I'd ride these little lanes. It's actually the Foss Way up in Cotswolds. Mega fast, mega flowing, like the climbs weren't too bad. You could maintain your speed really nicely. It was just, I don't know, there's something different about riding in the dark, isn't there? Things move differently. It's got this air of mystery and eeriness to it. I'm not sure what trails I'm gonna do, probably just one and then go home. It's enough fear for me for one day. But yeah, nice little adventure nonetheless. So this is Idless Woods, top of the woods. I've ridden quite a bit here recently. Not a very big woods, just outside of Truro. It's well worth a trip, or maybe just a look in the middle of a ride. It's a sort of, I don't know how to describe it. There aren't loads of cut trails or anything like that, but there are some nice natural lines you can take. There are some, well, not footpaths, but rights of way that you can follow around the edge of the woods, things like that. I think it's worth riding if you have an hour and you're local. I think it's worth an explore if you like the woods. Otherwise, your sort of stereotypical well-known spots that we normally ride across the Bizzo Trail. I started saying in a video the other day about the trails running from one coast to the other coast, and once you deviate too far away from there, it's actually quite hard to link up a good ride. That's one of my plans coming up: study some mapping, create a nice route that comes into the back of Truro from the Perranporth direction. I think that would be a little bit of fun in the future. You can probably see the lights flicker a little bit going over the bumps. If I was to mount that on a helmet, it'd definitely be better. Right, the trails that I want to take are fast approaching up on the right hand side actually. Only use the lower half of the woods. We'll do one run, nurse ourselves home. It is already after 8 o'clock in the evening, and I'd quite like to go watch a film, something like that. Not a lot further. The fastest person on this climb currently is Jason Pascoe, who you might remember from the dog running video, the Canny Cross bike jaw video. I can't get anywhere near his time that he's done coming up through here. I've also tried it on a road bike and I punctured around about here somewhere at some point in the past. That was before gravel was fashionable, riding off-road on a road bike. It's just cycling. All types of cycling are all the same. We should all get on and not categorise everyone as much as we do. Right, I'm going to find this trail. I'll keep on waffling on. Ride the trail, give you some thoughts on the lights, mountings, head home. The question is, which one shall we take? I think we're going to go for the one I don't actually ride that often. It's not really a jump. It could be a jump though, couldn't it? It's slippery. This is, well, I'm sure it's a jump if you can see where you're going. Oh dear, bad idea. There's a berm up there, which I've completely missed. Where does that spit you out then? We want to go up here a little bit. So this is why a head torch is, or a head mounted torch is good, because then where you look, you're going. Here we go, look, that looks like a trail to me. On the mountain bike, your bars turn a lot. On the road, actually having the light on your bars isn't so bad, because generally your bars are pointing where you're going on the road. I do vaguely know this trail. Not quite as well as I thought though, because that goes up. Ha! Oh well. Oh look, we're snaking down here, this is nice. Quite natural, see? It's not really a groomed cut trail. Loads of roots, proper slippery. See there, the bars are pointing uphill. I was going downhill, tree down in the wind, steep roller, and down to the bottom trail. Idless Woods, watch out for people walking, loads of water. It's good, it's nice. If you don't ride in the dark much, highly recommend it. It is good fun. It doesn't do a lot for your skill because you're doing things very differently to how you do it in the daylight, so your actual on-bike technique is different. However, your anticipation, perception, things like that, those skills are definitely up. And like I said, on the mountain bike, mount at least one light on your helmet. If I didn't have the camera there today, that's where the other one would be. But on the road, definitely having the lights on your bars is good enough. Loads of lights on the back, one solid light is generally the law. Some reflective strips is always good. And get out there, borrow some lights off a friend if you don't have any. Just give it a go, because it's nice to do something different. Cycling is one of those sports, it's so varied. There are so many different things you can do, and it is nice to mix it up, because when you do the same thing all the time, that's when things can get monotonous. They can get a little bit boring. So if you are at a place where you're riding, you're training, and you feel like you want to mix it up a bit, get out on the bike in the dark, or do a different route when we're allowed to, or ride a different type of bike if you can borrow one, that sort of thing. I'm not saying everyone has to buy a bike for every occasion. That's also not the case, but just being explorative with what you do, which is partly why I do ride off-road a lot. You know, the riding is just more varied. So yeah, Idless Woods, not a lot more else to tell you about this. A little bit too addicted to the e-bike, I think, at the moment. Not ridden this one a huge amount recently. Completely re-found my love for it though. Look at the balance. Can we make it around the corner or not? The trouble is, if you grind to a halt, there we go. If you grind to a halt, lose your balance with the motor, you've got to be really in touch with exactly how and when the assistance is coming. It's a whole new way of wheeling, but I do like it. Practice makes perfect. I really hope this view looks alright. I've got no idea. It was an idea I had. Helmet mount, 40cm pole, GoPro Max in the end. No microphone, just hoping for the best. I thought it was a big drop then. Can you imagine going over that in the dark, not knowing what was over the edge? Let's quickly touch on a few things about the lights. Since I've mentioned them a couple of times, it's worth including a little more information so you know what I'm using. So they are the Magic Shine 8000 lumen lights. It has a different name which is on your screen right now, but the important features are it has a lot of different modes and functions, and the battery runtime, which hopefully I'm not going to test out today, but it's quite impressive. So on full power, which is the full 8000 lumens, it's meant to be 1.2 hours, which is phenomenal because considering just how sleek the battery itself is. So it is a wired light, it is on a battery, it's not a single piece unit, but if that means that you can ride that much longer, I'm a big fan. There you go, there is the battery strapped to my top tube. The other benefit of riding at night is you don't see how dirty you're getting. One of the things I used to hate in races was seeing your beautiful socks getting ruined. That was also the full ride in turbo on the e-bike. I'm not sure exactly, I've got no idea what I've done to be honest. Well, 40 minutes, 10 kilometers, and it's used without me even trying to pedal really, if I'm honest. It's used half, got 5 bars to go. That's from a tiny little 252 watt-hour battery, and considering the effort that I've put in, which is truly next to nothing, it's quite remarkable really. It does help that the bike is mega light. That's one thing that's always surprised me about the eZesty, is it is light, and because of that you do get more out of the range. That's the only trouble with big lights, you do have to dip them for other vehicles. He'd stopped way away from me in the distance to let me through. And it is well worth being courteous because the roads are bad enough, aren't they? You know what, I think I can probably just end this video here and just say thank you for joining me on a little bit of a night ride. I've got a question for you before we go. Would you like to see some more of those 360-degree rides that I did last year? The GoPro camera that I'm using now will work much better for that. So please, I'd love to know if that's something you're interested in on the roads of Cornwall. Hopefully on the road, ideally. That's kind of why you're all here in the first place, I'm sure. Although the information will always be applicable across every discipline, because I'm not a discipline discriminator. Just like riding bikes, doesn't really matter to me what sort of bikes they are. Right, on that note, cheers everyone for watching. Hope you're staying safe and well. I'll see you in another video soon. This is just a little midweek bonus. Bye for now. Yeah. Oh, those grapes, those brakes are grabby. Not those grapes are braggy.